Hello. Yes, welcome back to ML University and Advanced Business Workshop. So I wanted to share with you today about the upside construction. So a little bit about this method of building is that I just came back from USAsia EB5 funding tour in April of 2024, right? So I spent a whole good 3 weeks in Asia, that including Vietnam and multiple locations in China and also in Taiwan. So over the year travel and I appreciate a lot of you guys came out and really supporting our program. We have up to 300 different manufacturing company and investor that we met. We appreciate a lot of you guys, taking the time. We got a great meeting. We learned a lot from each other of how we gonna be continue to invest in real estate, in modular build real estate, and it's a good way to creating asset in the United States, right? So that you can put up again you can really sell the asset or borrow again the asset when you invest here. So uh, so I started back in '98, right? Done a lot of deal, 62 different development projects and 18 different EB5 fund, right? So this is the fund that we've been promoting modular build. So important that we talk about that. So over the year, the our regional center program is called USAsia Pacific, right? So that means that I has been going back and forward to Asia. That's where I came from. That um, looking at all the ship that ship the container to United States, right? And I have a question. Our office is not that far from Port of Seattle, Port of Tacoma. Matter of fact, we're in between. So a lot of this container they always shipped it from Asia, and then from the U.S. It going back to Asia. So I look at the structure, how strong it is, right? That that the container go into the ocean for 3 weeks from Asia to the U.S. and vice versa from U.S. back to Asia. And some of the container, right? Some of the container had have been using for the past 60, 70 years, right? That's still pretty good. So I thought a lot about building the home, using a metal frame, as strong as a container, right? Instead of using wood frame. So, 10, 12 years ago, I involved with upside build construction. Over the year, we've been talk back and forward with multiple builder in our network about building upside build, right? And so, we in the process of building out multiple projects, residential, multifamily for senior housing, affordable housing, and also veteran housing. So we wanted to build modular build. Why modular, right? It's just like vehicle that built in the factory and Boeing airplane that built in the factory, right? Or you can look at the production of automobile industry. As you can see, GM, Chrysler, Ford, the auto industry. In a lot of cases, we can see 1 or 2 minutes. Factory can produce in a vehicle, right? So I look at our industry today where we are. We have some modular build construction, but right now, the modular build offsite compared to the on-site construction, it's representing modular build representing 6%, right? At the total construction. So it's not a whole lot, but I think that's moving in the right direction. As we facing the severe shortage of housing in United States, right? So the study from the NAR There's a study from the master builder in the United States. It came in out that we shorted between 6 to 8.2 million home. In any case, it's still very dramatic in terms of home inventory that's shorted for sale, right? Over the year, I teach a lot of people. My business model would be like, because I believe that you get into the real estate business, listing is the name of the game, right? I always teach listing, and I taught so many for my student in the past that learning about how to work with builder, investor, taking the listing and working on the listing side. But this is the way. This is one of the way that we can create inventory by doing the modular bill. So we create a fund right now that supporting the modular bill, right? So we're going to be building a factory. We already purchased a 300,000 square feet existing industrial building, and then we're gonna be turn that into a modular build down the road, and then on top of the 34-acre land that we're planning to build 300 units residential, right? Residential for sale. So that could be a great opportunity to work with. So modular bill, it's supported by the fund that since the 2007, the USAsia EB5 fund has been a very successful fund that raising direct investment to supporting the project. So modular bill, right? So our modular bill, the factory is located between Portland and Seattle on the 300,000 square feet. I think it's going to be a fantastic modular factory that's going to be able to produce in thousands of units a year. So that's something that we're going to work toward the near future. But if you can see, modular build is where the 80% of the anything from sheet rocks, electrical siding, and roofing, cabinets, everything done inside the factory. It's very, very, very controlled environment, right? So you look at our, factory that we're gonna have all this unit built. It's a very well organized, and it's very controllable, right? So it just feel like the environment of building vehicle, building ship, or building airplane inside the factory. So a lot of this construction material that will be stored in the storage before it's going to the assembly, right? So if you were to look at the construction schedule to build modular, you're probably looking at the time saving 65 to 70% of the 65 to 75%. It's probably going to be faster to build in the factory. So really, so what it is about modular builder co-op, right? So yeah, first of all, is that building is it's built on the construction offsite. So what you see like a property, the Marriott by the Burbank in California, you can see that the 345 unit that building for 4.5 months, right? Normally, project like that would take about like at the minimum of 24 months to 24 to 36 months for that project. So as you can see, time saving is very significant. So the construction is pretty much like build 80%, offsite. Second, is the property built inside the modular factory, right? So when the property built inside, and you don't have a lot of factor about weather, worker, and also a lot of issue that so it's going pretty fast, right? So so all the material is gonna be at the build. It's stick built on lot. It probably similar to that way. most of the material is going to be um, better quality. It's probably going to be sent exactly from the vendor, right, to the site. But in this case, it's sent to the factory for the assembly. So how about building code and the standard? Building code and the standard, it probably be different than the and on the side build. Depend if you if you were to submit the for permitting and also you submit it to the state, right? So that will be the building code. It probably we are working through at the industry at a modular build through a universal code standard, and we see a lot of state right now really step up to working, and the whole purpose here is to try to solve the housing challenges that we have right now. So. So, so I wrote down here that yes, the building will be producing 80% in the module in the factory, where you got where you got all the vertical construction, including siding, roofing, finish work, and also plumbing, electrical, framing, and all that done, right? And then you got the 20% of the building, which kind of building at the side, right? Like utility connection, sidewalk, curb, and all that, right? So you got that. That's how you get yourself, and that's how you talking about the building on the modular. So, so what would be the benefit of doing the modular build versus the regular construction? The first thing I wrote down here, that timing, right? As you can see, the interest rates, right now is very significant. That's where 90% of the project right now. I mean, my market is in Seattle, Washington, and you can see a lot of commercial project right now, stop stalling, right? Because um, the interest rate and also the construction schedule to build out the project. So we're gonna look at it. The time saving of the modular build it very significant. So time is money. So if the project can be built for 24 months, now you can be able to do between 40 to 50% faster, right? So that is a significant saving. Second would be like pricing when you do the modular build, right? So modular build construction pricing is good because you can save between 8 to 12% if you do that domestically, right? But depend how that we source it our construction material. So for the last 3 weeks, that's what I do. I go and look at okay, how we gonna build the home cheaper, more quality, right? Beside the saving of time and the serve and the factory build. So we can really reduce the cost to build for the modular between 8% up to 40%, depend to the factory that build here in the United States or the factory that build in Asia. That's something that we working with all of our builder to do. So the the third thing that I wrote down here, the strength, right? The strength of the modular build, and you got to look at if one structure that building, and we work with some of the factory in the East Coast. So if we were to move the modular build from the East Coast to the West Coast is a few thousand miles, right? So as you can see, the building is very strong. It's built much better than on site build, right? And so that be able to, sustain, the strength of the building. And the fourth thing that I wrote down here is that the neighbor and also the outside element, when you build it on site, there's so many factors that affecting the construction. Like the neighbor, for example. Sometimes if the neighbor is not happy, they can really, call in the municipality or call in the city to shut down the project and complain and issue and all that, right? But you don't have all that at the modular bill. So then the thing that I wrote down here is also theft and vandalism for the theft and vandalism, especially in Seattle, Washington, and some of the area that where we build, that become a very major factor, right? And so that's not going to happen with the modular build because it's built inside a factory, so that you have to worry about vandalism, theft, and all. That thing is that yes, when you're dealing with the modular build, then you're building with the state instead of building with the city, right? And we can go through another day that way I can bring in my power team to really explain about the structure and then the design and also the construction entitlement and also the permitting for the modular. So there are some disadvantages about building the modular. Of course, we talk about the perception, and a lot of people will mistaken, manufacture home with the modular, right? So that can be explained on a different program. But the not all the home can be built in the modular, and financing to most of the financing in today's market that geared toward like on-site construction, but not many lenders out there that really doing the financing funding for the modular construction. And so feasibility study, conceptual design, construction management, engineering, right? And then permitting, they're all very, very different compared to the side build. So those are some of the idea that I wanted to share with you. But I do think that modular build, offsite build is a net big thing in the real estate. Only manufacturing that we can really scale production to the whole new level, and the transportation and installation, that another factor to consider when you build in modular build. So at the next video, I would like to share with you some of the projects that being built by our builder in the past, right? It definitely gonna be very good information for you to know as you going through and continue to work in the real estate industry. So with that, I appreciate everybody taking the time to look at this video today, and have a great one.